Hello everybody, it is time for my much anticipated makeup book tag. I'm really excited. As you can see, hair up, bare face, we're ready. We're just gonna get into the first question, which is foundation. And the question is, what is your favorite first book in a series? And I couldn't decide which was my favorite between The Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling and Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, so both of those are my answer. For foundation, I use Neutrogena Healthy Skin in the shade Classic Ivory. I just like blot it all over my face and then take my brush and rub it all in. And back to the books. I picked those two because I feel like they just set the scene so well for the series. And it's just really, really good at introducing the characters and the traits of everybody. So that's why those two are my favorite. And like I said, I couldn't pick because with The Philosopher's Stone, J.K. Rowling does such a great job at really bringing the magic in to the series and really making you feel the magic. But with Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin, he's just such an amazing author, first of all. But he's just so good at introducing and setting the scene for everything and really setting the scene for all the conflict that's coming in the next few books. The next is concealer, and this question is, which book or series do you wish you could just erase? Also, side note, some of these questions weren't in the original challenge. The questions that I'm going over, I got from Emma Books and Emmy Bookish. So I've kind of took questions from both of them from what I saw. And before I give the answer out, the concealer I use is Hard Candy Camouflage. And it is in the shade Ultra Light, if you can see that. And as I'm doing this tag and thinking of the answers, I'm trying to think of a book or a series that I would like to erase and get rid of. And honestly, I really don't know. I've just read so many books that it's kind of hard to remember all of them, especially the ones I didn't like and weren't memorable. So I'm just going to go off of the books that I've read this year for my reading challenge. And for my reading challenge, the books that I've read this year that I would like to erase, well, probably, there was this book I read this year. It was called Lights Out, and I got it at Goodwill, so it's not like it was like separated into like genre or anything. And when I read the summary of it, it sounded like a really good book about what would happen if there was a cyber attack against the United States and we lost power. And when I read the summary, it talked about this little boy and him growing up in it and kind of adjusting to it. So it honestly sounded like such a good book about like a fictional character who was struggling with this. And I read it and it was like completely nonfiction, which I don't mind nonfiction. I read nonfiction, especially history. I have a lot of history books on my shelf. But like, just the way the summary was and how the reviews talked, I was just completely expecting something else. So I would erase that book probably, because it just, like, how do you have a nonfiction book that's like all fact-based and like things that the United States is already prepping for, but then in the summary talk about little Bobby Joe trying to figure it out? Like, I'm sure there are more with all of the books I've read. I'm sure there's more that I would like to erase more, but just from the ones I've read so far this year, I was very disappointed because it sounded like such a great story. Now I'm going to go a little out of order because I'm going to go how I would usually go when I do my own makeup, so I'm going to skip down to the last question, which is powder. That question is your favorite ending book in a series. And for that question, I would probably go with Opposition, which is the very last book in the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Now, for powder, I use two different, under the eyes like I'm doing right now, I use Hard Candy Fast and Fabulous Translucent Powder. And let me grab the other powder I use because I kind of need that. The other powder I use is Maybelline Superstay Better Skin, and this is in the shade Porcelain. And I think the reason I like that so much as an ending book is just because it really wraps things up, and Jennifer does such a great job of not leaving any plot holes open, so it's not like you wonder what happened to this character or what do they do after the series. It's just a perfect wrap up. I don't think it's too cliche of an ending. I really highly enjoyed it. So yeah, also if you've never read the Lux novels by her, you definitely should. They're definitely one of my favorite series, like, ever. I'm also going to add in some questions. If these are questions that people have already added, let me know, because, you know, I want credit to go to them. I don't know if anybody have added these questions, but I'm going to add contour / bronzer and highlight. They have blush, but I'm going to add those two. And for contour, the question is going to be, what books would you like to fix up a little? Like, not completely change and get rid of, but they just need just a little bit of fixing up, you know, in the crevices. And again, before I answer that question, the bronzer I use is a MAC Studio Baked Bronzer. And the contour I use is just this contour shade right here from an e.l.f. palette. And my answer to that is the Percy Jackson series. For the contour, what would I fix up a little bit? I love the series. They were one of my favorite series as a kid. So it's not like I want them to go away. I don't want them to be completely changed because Rick Riordan is a wonderful author. There's just some things that I feel like could use a little bit of an overhaul, you know? And I don't know why I'm using that brush. Just ignore me. Like, I'll still read the series and stuff. I actually just recently reread it again. So it's not like I hate it. I love it. Just a few things could be adjusted. Honestly, I probably shouldn't be using this shade because this is the shade I use when I'm tan, and I'm not very tan right now. So let's hope it doesn't come out too muddy. Might just have to fix her up a little bit. And like, oh gosh, I never like contour my nose or anything. I just like do my cheeks and a little bit of bronzer on my forehead to lighten it up. We're gonna go over there with some lighter powder because I messed up. Okay, I feel like that's acceptable. Now, blush is next. Blush is, let me check on that. Blush is name a book that had some cringe-worthy romance, and the book / series that I'm going to use for blush is the Treatment series, or the Program. It's the Program series. Don't have the author off top of my head, but I'll put the author with the series down below just so you guys know. I liked the series. I'm in the process of reading it now. I just need to get the next few books in the series because there's like 5, I think. But after book 1, the romance really does get cringeworthy. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of like gross almost. Now the blush I use is just an e.l.f. palette with some really pretty shades. I think I'm gonna go in with this one right here mixed with this one right here. And like, I don't know, like the first book, the romance was really cute, and like the situation that's going on with the program, like you needed somebody there to love and to help you get through what was going on. But like after the first book, I feel like it just got like, I feel like it just got a little too cliche and like, I don't know. In fact, for a while, I stopped reading it because it was just getting a little out of hand. Wow, this is really hard on camera. Like, there we go. That's not so bad. I took a break from reading it for about like 2 months or 3 months just because I like couldn't deal with this couple and like how over the top they were. It was either like cringeworthy like making out every 2 seconds, or cringeworthy like fighting and not talking to each other. And I was like, I can't do this. The next question, like I said, is highlighter, and if somebody already did highlighter with this same question, again, let me know if these questions have been used, because I'm not aware if they have, so I don't want to take credit from anybody. But the next question I'm using for highlighters: what is a book or series you want to bring light to, you want to kind of like shine up a little bit because you think it's underrated? And that series is the Lux novels by Jennifer L. Armentrout. That's my answer to that. And the highlighter I'm using is the Maybelline Cream Stick Highlighter in Light Iridescent. And I just feel like the Lux novels, like I said a couple minutes ago, they're literally some of my favorite books like ever. And I just feel like they're underrated. I feel like people don't talk about them a lot, and they really should, because it's just such a great series. So yeah. Also, this highlighter, for being like a drugstore, it's like amazing. It goes on like cream, but as you like rub it in, it like turns to powder. I just love it. Okay, I'm gonna throw some eye primer on because the next couple questions are eye related, and the eye primer I use is just an e.l.f. liquid eye primer. And the next question is eyeshadow, and that question is pick a book with your favorite colors on it. The books I'm picking are Onyx by Jennifer L. Armentrout. That is one of the Lux novels, and The Hollow by Jessica Verde. And the palette I'm using, it's just another e.l.f. palette. Now I'm not going to use purple because I actually have a job interview that I'm getting ready for, so I'm going to keep it a little more toned down than that. Honestly, there's like endless books that I could name with my favorite colors on them, but what color is this? Oh my god. Okay, that's supposed to be dark brown, but it looks kind of blue, so I'm gonna fix that and I'll be right back. Okay, so there we have it. Maybe, possibly, I don't know what's going on here. But like I said, there's a lot of books with the color purple on them, but I just feel like the ones that I've listed, not only are they purple, but they also just have really pretty covers. The next question is eyeliner. Pick a dark and mysterious book, and honestly, any Stephen King book I have on my shelf. I can't pick between them because they're all dark and mysterious. They're all Stephen King, so any Stephen King book. And I'm going to do my eyeliner off camera because got to do bottom and top, and I'll be right back. Okay, eyeliner is done, and the next question is mascara. Mascaras, pick a long book, and again, I'm just going to throw out a few because I don't know which one is longer, but any of the Game of Thrones series, Stephen King Under the Dome is pretty long, and some of the last of the Harry Potter series is pretty long. And the mascara that I use is just Wet n Wild Mega Length. Pardon me while I get up close and personal. I could probably like not do this on camera too, but why not? And yeah, there we go. I think I need to get new mascara. I think it's drying out a little. Okay, and I just did my eyebrows off screen. I didn't know if there was any questions for eyebrows, and I didn't come up with any, so I just did them off screen. And let's get to the last question here, which is lipstick. And the lipstick I'm using for this question is Hard Candy Metallic Mousse. I love this. It's just like a nice creamy, pretty shiny color. And my favorite book kiss is Peeta and Katniss in Catching Fire. When they are sitting on the beach, he finds the pearl and gives it to her, and I think that's the moment when Katniss realizes that she really loves him. That will do it for today, guys. That is my makeup look tag. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing it, and I hope to see you at my next video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you see my new videos, and yeah, we'll have a blast going along this. Thank you.